Speak truth. Did we cause a Chaos invasion?
Of course we did. His Inquisitor puppet manipulated us from the moment we met.
And before. The false Inquisitor sent the distress call.
I don't think so, Leandros. The man's urgency, his fear. I believe that was the real Drogon, facing certain death.
And it found him.
But not at the Orcs' hands. Somehow the agents of Chaos were already here.
Captain?
Keep moving!
Well, that's because Redfall still had single player, so that's why. Concord's only PvP, so it makes sense. You can play Redfall by yourself. But actually, you'll never have to because there's always someone to play with on Redfall.
But gosh dang it, I've had so much fun playing it.
Keep moving!
That gate, it's getting bigger. If it gets much larger,
ooh, so am I.
Then we must cut the link between Warp Gate and Tower.
I'm getting bigger too.
We use Invictus to sever the orbital.
Just thinking of all those sexy Concord characters.
Titan's cannon be effective.
It's time we use the power source to our advantage. To supercharge Invictus, we need to reach that Titan.
Nah, I'm not gonna play Concord. I didn't enjoy the game, so there's no point in playing it.
So, a demon killed Inquisitor Drogon and released his body.
But why?
Alone, there was no way the demon could get the power source past 1 million orcs. It needed help.
And we obliged.
I was deceived. I am responsible for chaos breaking through this world.
Genetic scan complete. The depth of the Starkeep. Full access granted.
Ultramarines, attack!
Shot! Hell yeah, dude. I kind of wish Space Marine 2 did launch at midnight tomorrow, but they're going with a weird launch time.
Duty requires that I put voice to my concerns.
It makes it harder to be a content creator, dude.
And again,
Because I have to
you emerged
work.
from the exposure unscathed. The Codex Astartes warns that those in league with Chaos can withstand the warp's touch.
You forget yourself, Ultramarine.
Leandros, I do not take this warp resistance lightly. But the search for answers must wait until after we deal with this Chaos invasion.
What if that is too late?
Yeah, I'll
Leandros,
play the
enough.
multiplayer.
We need to keep moving.
I'll try it out, see how it goes. Don't work or sleep. Well, Britt, unlike you, I don't have a dad and mom to freeload off of, so sorry. No can do. Griffin, live with your single mother, bro? What? I'm not dating a single mom. The fuck?
Warp portal! In the weak! Runners, attack! Strike what you!
Damn, bro, my stomach is like growling right now. Jeez. Show me the Carfax. No. You can't fucking see it, man. Yeah, I'm probably just hungry.
My lords, help us!
The last time I ate was at like 11 a.m.
Where are they all coming from?
It's been a while.
Guardsman, report.
My Lord Space Marine. They were on us almost immediately.
My lord.
Captain Titus, are you there? This is Lieutenant Mira.
Yeah,
This whole
Captain
planet's
Tight
gone mad.
Ass.
The forces of Chaos are invading this world. We must get to the Titan and destroy that warp gate.
I know what route to take. I deployed troops to man outposts between the Calcus facility and Bastion Primus. From there, you can access the rail network and cross to Manufactorum Ajakis.
Understood. I will meet you there.
Oh shit. Fuck, my controller's doing that bullshit again. Yeah, I had to use my vacation time last week, which is why I took Thursday and Friday off. Otherwise, I would have lost it. I still have like 200 hours of vacation. But yeah, I would have lost 16 hours if I didn't take it. Nah, I have to give a week notice before I can
And we shall
Wait,
know
what?
no fear.
Bro, what in the fuck killed me? Jeez. I just got fucking spanked. Damn. Oh, you can't fucking die. Thank you. Dude, I wish I could just sell my time off, because, like, basically, I have 2.5 paychecks worth of time off.
I'm surprised the place
So
is
that'd be a
standing
nice
tall.
chunk of money to just get for doing nothing. I don't even care about having time off. I don't do anything when I take it anyway.
How can we face them? The legions of chaos.
Trooper, get yourself together right now!
Yes, Mom.
The other platoons are going to fall back towards the bastion. Hold this position, or they'll be cut off. We're heading back to the command post, Captain.
Crush the Space Marines!
I'm gonna be completely bald by 35, maybe, man. Might just rip all my hair out, because why not? Dude, I need some ammo. Finally. I have the cannon.
over here.
Well met, Mira.
Jonah, I half expected to find a demon chewing on your bones.
Ooh.
Spit me right out.
Make your report, Jonah.
The Greenskins have been pressing us hard, both down here and at the Bastion proper.
Get ready to fall back to the Bastion. Do not engage Chaos forces directly until I get reinforcements down here to back you up.
Aye, Lieutenant.
Captain Titus.
No, I'm pretty sure the Space Marine 2 has like an actual campaign, bro. I don't think it's just wave-based survival. That might be a mode, but I'm pretty sure it also has a campaign. Yeah, you're getting like the campaign, the wave-based survival, and then PvP. Like, it's a pretty complete package. So it's not like most games where they just like half-ass the content and you get like one mode.
The Ultramarines and I are almost at your position. Mirror out.
No, I think it's a full $60. Actually, I don't know what it costs. I'm getting the gold edition, so
Genetic scan complete. Adeptus Astartes.
yeah, plasma gun sucks.
Orcs, always more orcs.
More greenskins!
Forward!
Imperial Guard! Stand your ground! The Ultramarines are here!
What? That didn't blow them up? That's kind of lame. They all orgasmed at once.
See why we need the sentry guns. There aren't enough of us to hold this position without them.
Lieutenant, the central outpost is under attack.
Tell them we're on our way.
Move out, brothers.
Yeah, this is just an old classic Xbox 360 era action game. So, unfortunately, you don't get shit like this very often.
Lieutenant, where is the generator?
If you continue on, you'll find it at the end of our fortifications.
I will contact you once I have restored power. Brothers, the guardsmen will need your help until the guns are reactivated.
We will hold the line, Captain.
wonder how short the campaign's gonna be because the second Black Ops 6 beta starts on the 6th with an increased level cap. So I'm gonna play that. What do you mean? What does that have to do with the campaign? Oh, are you talking about the space marine? Okay, the space marine. I thought you meant the Black Ops 6 campaign. I'm like, I don't think they're putting the campaign in there. That makes sense.
We shall know no fear.
Oh, man. Hitting me. Something is doing a lot of damage.
Here we are.
All right.
Carry on, Gosling.
Sweet, dude.
Sidonis to Captain Titus.
Yeah, I
You're
wouldn't
running
say
into
this
orcs
game's
down
10
here.
hours.
Nothing
That's
like
probably a
above,
little bit of an
just enough to be an
overestimate. So
annoyance.
it's probably like an
We will be
8-hour
there
game.
soon.
If
Understood.
they're saying it's 12. Because this is probably like a 6 to 7 hour campaign. Unless you're playing on like hard or something like that. Alright, this is probably a good place to stop. So I think what we're on, yeah, we're almost done. So 13, 14, and then I think there's 17. So yeah. If they haven't pulled Concord off the shelves, maybe. Let's see. Do I have a YouTube? Yes. There we go. Dark. You miss Manlet? Oh wait, Manhunt. Oops. I read that as Manlet because, you know, projection. Damn, bro, that fucking Concord video is already at 19-something thousand. Sweet. Pay for some of my copies of the game. But yeah, if you want Concord, I think they still have it here. I don't know how many copies they have or if it'll get canceled, but if you want a copy, I think you can pick it up. Play the Warriors? I don't know what that is. Yeah, the controller's nice. I'm glad I got my two. I may keep them. At least one. Alright, so let's start off with the #1 source in news. Look at him like he's like scraping his face off, dude. What in the fuck is he doing? Like, bro, that's such an ugly fucking face. What the hell? Like, it looks like he's trying to claw his fucking skin off. He had some bath salts.
Thinking about going solar, but not sure whether it's worth it for your home.
It's not.
Well,
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and today we're talking about PlayStation because Sony just announced that the newest big PS5 game, Concord, has just been...
Well, I don't really know if it's a big game at this point, but yeah, it was supposed to be.
been shut down. Yeah, I know this is completely shocking to hear about, but I've been doing videos talking about the game. I played 80 hours of it, even though it's just so boring. I was trying to get the...
I played 80 hours of it just because it's so... Even though it's so boring, why? Oh, dude, you are not bored if you're spending 80 fucking hours playing a game. I'm sorry. No one spends 80 hours on a fucking game if they're bored. Dude, I was bored to death with Avatar Frontiers of Colonialism, and I dropped that shit after like 10 hours, bro. I was done. That shit absolutely sucked.
Only platinum trophy. Well, now nobody will ever finish the game. It's actually being taken offline. They're doing mass refunds. I want to talk about this, but to be honest, right up front, I'm kind of freaking out because this has got to be the biggest PlayStation L of all time. Literally hundreds of millions of dollars down the drain instantly. No. And I gotta ask why, but let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could please give this video a like.
I wasted 60 hours. No. I put like, I don't even remember how long I put into Suicide Squad, like 10 maybe? I don't remember, but it was actually pretty short.
And subscribe if you haven't already. So I was kind of suspicious because we hadn't seen too many tweets and stuff from the official Concord account, which, yes, I'm probably one of the only people in the world that's actually following it. They kept tweeting out little updates here and there saying, yeah, we're working on some patches. When today they were like, yeah, we're going to take the servers offline for no big deal. Oh, wait, Firewalk Studios and Concord is getting yoinked. They're shutting it down. They're flat out taking it offline and giving full refunds to everybody. Now, I want to read the entire statement because, honestly, I cannot remember a time this happened. I mean, it's happened here and there from something like The Calling 2 or some MMORPG.
Final Fantasy 14, Dreamy. You literally play the game that this happened with before.
That were extremely expensive to make and ended up flopping, but I've never seen a game from a first-party company like this. It's baffling because it didn't even last a month. The total sales of this are rumored to be about $25,000. $100 million spent to make the most bland shooter of all time for 25,000 sales. This is insane, but let me read the statement here. Okay, while many qualities of the experience...
I'm not getting a refund on any of that shit.
...managed to resonate with players, we recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we intended. Now, it sounds like one of the biggest things that people hate, and I think it's a completely valid criticism, is the fact that the characters themselves just look boring. I mean, I've played 80 hours of this game.
Nah, it's not that they're boring, it's that they're ugly. You know, give us First Descendant style characters, and I will personally play the game when it re-releases.
80 hours. I've nearly got the Platinum Trophy. I've leveled up a bunch. I've played literally all 16.
I will do a shill stream for Concord if they give us busty beauties for the characters, but I highly doubt that'll happen because, you know, it's Sony, and they don't like women. They like men that look like women.
Into the characters, and even I cannot remember their names. This guy's called like Lennox, and this guy's name is like Starchild, and then this lady's name is like Hjörg. This is my main, and I can't remember her name. This character, this game is so bland and forgettable that even the people that end up getting suckered into buying it are still not having a good time actually making memories. But therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning on September 6th and explore options, including those that will reach better players. So,
see, they're going to explore options, which means it's probably going to transition to free-to-play, but they need to overhaul a lot.
The rumors of it going free-to-play are not a big shock. People have been talking about the fact that a game like this probably should not have had a price tag in the first place. A $40 upfront cost is not too incredibly outlandish. I mean, a lot of games have some sort of thing, but in this space specifically, a hero shooter, especially a bland hero shooter that's trying to mimic Guardians of the Galaxy's like quirkiness, that should have...
I still love my name for this game, Guardians of the Goy Slop, dude. I think that's like the perfect way to sum up Concord, personally.
Been free, at the very least, to get people enticed, do some sort of thing where, like, I don't know, 2 heroes a week are free and then $40 and you unlock everybody. They should have done something besides the only way to play is to pay. But look at this. We have determined the best path ahead. Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game on PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game from PlayStation, from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will issued back for your original payment method. Customers who purchased from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about Steam refunds can be found below. Now, this is bonkers. Here, I want to refresh this to see some of the replies. This just came out. I feel like the entire internet is still reacting to it, but I am blown away because not only is this just such an expensive...
Is it really the surprising, though, that they're taking it down to, like, rework it? I mean, I thought they were just going to stick it in PS Plus, so I guess it is kind of surprising that they took it down entirely, but it's not really surprising that they're reevaluating the game considering it completely fucking bombed and nobody bought this shit. So it's not like insanely surprising, all things considered. Tim Marco with the 7, it'll probably take years to overhaul and redesign. I don't think so, honestly. Like, unless the character models just take them ridiculous amounts of time, all they have to do is reskin the characters, make them visually interesting, speed up the movement, and also reduce time to kill. Done. Just make the game faster and make the characters sexier. And easy, bruh. I think that's really all it'll take. I mean, the story stuff and all that crap will take time, but just to get the game in like an actual playable, fun state that people are interested in, I think. Redo the characters, make them actually visually interesting and attractive. You know, make the game faster paced as far as movement speed goes, and then also time to kill needs to go down.
It's a failure, but I've made a couple of videos now actually talking about the fact that I think the bubble for live service games has undoubtedly popped. I feel like we're in this space where Genshin Impact is still successful, Fortnite is still successful, World of Warcraft just launched a new big giant expansion, but I think when it comes to new games breaking into this space, they're having a lot of difficulty. Like, of course, there are success stories like First Descendant and stuff, but at this point, if your game is not marketed a ton, if it doesn't have a bunch of influencers instantly on board, if it doesn't have...
Nope, if it doesn't have sexy characters, bro. The only reason people gave a fuck about Overwatch is because they wanted to bang half the bitches in that game, bro. Widowmaker, Mercy... Diva, Tracer. Like, dude, everybody wanted to fuck the characters in Overwatch. That's why that game got popular.
Actually have incredibly tight gameplay and good graphics and cool microtransactions and a bunch of stuff to get people fully enticed instantly, you're going to flop no matter how much you actually spent on development and research and stuff like that. But the fact that this game flopped is still amazing to me because it's just such a bizarre Sony misstep. Now, according to leaked documents, the studio that made this is called Firewalk. I think you can see their little like logo. No, okay, this is just like a clean image. But the studio that made it is called Firewalk. Firewalk apparently was working on this. Sony saw the...
Firewalk. More like dumpster fire. Oh, shit, dude. Yeah. Plot twist, Concord was a marketing ploy. All the characters they showed are bad guys. Oh, if only it was like some 4D chess play, right?
The prototype of Concord and said, this is so promising, we want to own it forever. Like, apparently, this game was so mind-blowing, so enticing, they bought it for a PlayStation team immediately. And I'm so curious about what the heck they thought. Like, is this one of those times where Sony executives just thought of Overwatch money or Diablo money or just the blip?
No, it's a combination of shitlib California developers, Jim Ryan desperate to pursue live service for whatever reason, and people just not having a fucking clue what people actually want out of this type of game.
Blizzard Games as a Service stuff and say, oh, we need that, and bought it instantly because this seems like such a critical failure. The biggest AAA publisher failure I've ever witnessed. This is insane. Sony, didn't you have a game called Concord? And it's the old, we made it up. God, every reply, look at this. 8 years to make this game is crazy. Game bombed faster than the Borderlands movie. Holy hell.
Nah, bro. The last time a game from Japan... The last time something from Japan bombed this hard, it was called Nagasaki.
Gaming.
But yeah. Shit's sad, bro. It really is. They wasted so much money on this dog shit, and they closed down, you know, studios like Japan studios to pursue these type of games. So it makes it even worse. It's like they literally closed down their good studios to give money towards this type of fucking garbage. But yeah, so it goes, man.
Heck, it actually happened. It hasn't even been 2 weeks. I am so blown away because I played the game, and it is bad. It is not a good game, but it's not abysmally pathetic or anything like that. I made a video saying do not play Concord, but now, having had a chance to play 80 hours of it almost, oh God help me, the game is something that didn't...
No one help him. He chose to fucking do that shit. Dreamcast guy, you want to fucking play that garbage. Nobody is making you play that shit, bruh. Your obsession with the platinum trophy, dude, is making you do that. No one needs to help you with shit, man.
It deserved to succeed, but I never imagined it would flop in 2 weeks. There was a guy I was playing with a couple weeks ago.
What would I save, Concord or Redfall? I think Redfall, if it was done properly, has more interest to me just because I don't really care about hero shooters anymore. But if it was like first Descendant level characters in a hero shooter with fast-paced combat, then maybe Concord. I don't know. It just depends. But I don't know, bro. Honestly, I don't really care about either one.
His name was Red Rum. Red Rum, if you happen to see this video, you said you watch all my videos. I got a chance to talk to him. Extremely nice guy, and he and I played a couple matches of this. And he said, yeah, the game is rough around the edges. Yeah, it's not great, but it's a good Zen experience. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep my headset on. I'm going to keep making friends in Concord, and hopefully I can platinum it before the game gets shut down. That was like 3 days ago, maybe like 5 days ago. It's weird that this game got down to 54 concurrent players just this last weekend. The gaming space is becoming incredibly crowded. As I record this, right before I started doing this video, I was editing my review for Space Marine 2. I'm also working on a big video for Astrobot. But my point is the fact that as the industry continues to expand with more investors, more studios, more ideas, more...
Hell yeah, dude. Hopefully we get that Space Marine 2 video before launch, because I really want to see Dreamy's thoughts.
Or just craziness, I feel like we're going to see more high-budget failures. And I find this to be so bizarre because back in the day, if you had a game with good enough graphics or a good gameplay loop or even an incredibly good story, it would find a way to succeed. But now you can dump all the money you want down the hole and it's still going to never float up. I don't know what I'm even saying. My point is Concord failed. This is insane. Concord, man, biggest, literally the biggest Sony failure ever. But I'm glad to be getting that refund. I'll be honest with you. I bought that Ultimate Edition for $60. I also think I bought a friend a copy for $40, and I put that. So I think I'm also going to get refunded for that because I gifted that, I think. So I'm going to get $100 back.
Whoa!
Thank you for watching the video. If you could, please give.
Oh my God, dude! $100. I can retire now.
This video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep.
Meanwhile, he spent 80 hours on it.
Amen. And am I allowed to say that my Space Marine 2 video is coming out tomorrow? Am I not allowed to say it? Maybe I'm not allowed to say
it's
that.
coming out tomorrow.
Cut that. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.
Oh boy. I wonder if let's see. Let's see what isn't MBG like a fan of Concord? Here, let's watch this one first.
I was so excited when I heard the sandwich was back. I was like, Cloud9, what's up? This is Mike. And a little thing I love.
I think it's safe to say Concord is an objective failure. I don't think anybody was sitting back thinking, yeah, Concord's really going to pop off. It's going to be the next big thing. Well, actually, apparently that's what Sony thought, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? But here we are. Concord's been out for a little while now, and what everybody's been focusing on, understandably so, is the Steam concurrent player count, where it failed to even reach 700 concurrent players on Steam, where a game like Gollum.
Bro, why is he saying concurrent? It's concurrent. Concurrent? I guess because of Concord.
Yes, that's right. Gollum managed to achieve more concurrent players than Concord could. But today, we have new data that has been revealed about Concord that honestly is even more staggering than this game failing to reach 700 players on Steam. This comes from IGN, where they say Concord is estimated to have sold only 25,000 units.
Concurrent and linear.
25,000 units. That is unbelievably, horrifically bad. This is so much worse than I think anybody really...
Dude, that's what I'm saying. These physical copies are going to be fucking rare, man. Like...
This is so...
Only 20 or 200... Wait, fuck. 25,000 units. Here's what analysts think it's... Yeah. They don't even say what like share of that's physical versus digital.
Horrifically bad. This is so much worse than I think anybody really imagined. Sony is very likely in a state of shock right now, especially anybody there at Sony that actually believed in this product and this game and this studio. When I tell you 25,000 units is bad, that doesn't even do it justice. This is going to go...
Yeah, what is that, like $1 million total?
...down as one of the biggest flops in history. And there will be, for some reason, maybe some people who try to say that, no, that's an exaggeration, it's not that bad. But believe me, we are looking at a modern-day AAA game that easily cost over $100 million to develop, likely much more than that. May I remind everybody that Sony believed in this game so much, they went out and straight up bought the studio. They bought a studio that never produced a video game before. And you have to wonder how much Sony paid.
Dude, the owners of that studio have to be laughing their fucking ass off right now. The motherfuckers who sold that studio to them, they are probably just sitting there with the most devious, shit-eating grin on their face imaginable, having to talk to Sony management today, bruh.
Paid for the studio. Well, I can tell you it probably wasn't that cheap.
Imagine.
It probably costs more than the price to develop the game, right? So not only are they paying for the overall development of the game, but they pay for the studio as well. And the studio, Firewalk, has, I believe, the last time we heard, about 150 developers. So this is a full-blown AAA team developing a AAA game. And their $40, not even a full-priced $60 or $70 AAA game, a $40 AAA game, 25,000 units. To put this in perspective, this game has made Sony less than $1 million. Less than $1 million. And you know what? I have to say, I'm glad. I am. I'm not happy necessarily to see that this is what it took. But at the same time, if this is what it takes for Sony to wake up and whoever's running the ship there making these decisions to realize, you know, maybe we are out of touch. Maybe we do need to kind of get back to the basics here. If this is what it takes, then so be it. You know what's crazy to think right now? Sony is currently sitting on a lot of multiplayer-based PlayStation IP. Games like Killzone, SOCOM, Resistance, Warhawk.
Well, they're not touching any of that shit now. The days of them working on multiplayer games is fucking done at this point. There's no way. They're not risking this shit again. They're going to stick to their single-player stuff.
Even something like MAG. These are all shooters. And Sony has decided that they're not going to do anything with these games, apparently. Rather than do anything with these games, they're just going to invest in games like Concord, invest in studios that are making games like Concord, because clearly they got a hit, right? This game's going to be the next big thing. What's crazy to think is that if Sony had made the decision to invest in literally just one of any of those classic multiplayer-driven PlayStation IPs that I just mentioned, 100% guaranteed they would have sold at least 50 times better than Concord. And the reason why I'm saying specifically...
I mean, that is true. Like, Killzone would have definitely sold better. Yeah, off just the name recognition for sure, but it still would have lost the money, most likely.
50 times is because that's how much it would take to sell at least 1 million units, which any one of those games guaranteed would have done at the bare minimum 1 million, but they probably realistically would have done better than that. They probably could have done 75 times better, maybe even 100 times better than Concord. But one thing that is for certain is none of those games, if Sony decided to invest in a new version of one of those games for the PS5, none of them would have done anywhere near as bad as Concord is doing. Nowhere near. Would not be possible. And this kind of leads us into a conversation, well, does this mean Sony shouldn't take a chance and invest in new IP? Absolutely not. If Sony's walking away with that message, then they're even more out of touch than I realized. That is absolutely not the message they should be walking away with. They should be, at this point, you would hope, smart enough to know that nobody is asking them to not invest in new IP. What we are asking is to not invest in new IP that
is in a genre that nobody's fucking asking. I don't know why. Like, honestly. This is kind of interesting. I guess they figured because, like, Nintendo kind of broke into this realm and actually succeeded with things like Splatoon. So they thought maybe, oh, we can make a multiplayer shooter as well. I mean, they kind of already tried it with shit like Foam stuff. Like, I don't know why, but they could have just stuck to what they were doing. I mean, this is just really interesting because, like, think how many timed exclusives they could buy with 250 mil. Like, that's the crazy thing. They could have probably actually bought exclusivity for Wu Kangs and shit easily with like 1/4 of that. So that's just wild to think of. Like $250 million just gone for nothing. But the thing is like, it's not like an incompetently made game. It's just, you know, slow, boring, awful characters, woke as shit. And that did not fucking help the case at all. If you take away those factors, it might have done okay, but I don't still think it would have done anything crazy. I Siler with the 5 We're So Back trolls. There's nothing like serenading your meat shield with a sus song. Uh-oh.
Come here. Buddy, do you feel the big bulge in your pocket? Sorry to tell ya, that ain't your wallet. Don't try to fight it, no, don't try to stop it. That's just me and my big meat rocket.
Bruh.
Buddy, I wrote you a little song if you want to hear it. Hold on one second. Here, come here. But do you feel the big bulge in your pocket? Sorry to tell ya, that ain't your wallet. Don't try to fight it, no, don't try to stop it. That's just me and my big meat rocket.
Bruh.
Is clearly not good.
Oh, no, I saw it with the 2. The Negan gif is perfect for this. Yeah. And even start with the 5. Feels great to make fun of Sony. L today. We got used to shit on Xbox almost every day lately, but in 2 days, Sony gets a W with Astrobot. Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody was even excited for Concord, so it doesn't really even matter. It's not like everybody's like, oh my god, this game looks awesome, and it turned out to be shit. Like, everybody just immediately wrote it off, so it's not even, like, disappointing to most people. But yeah, Astrobot is going to be fire.
Gaming.
And Raging Boar with the 2 just found out what the nuke is like in Black Ops 6. Nice.
Going to find an audience that nobody is asking for, that is clearly going to fail, and to fail hard. Now look, I'm not trying to make it sound like it's the easiest job in the world to determine what new things are going to hit and stick and what's going to fail. But what I will say is that you didn't really have to look very far with a game like Concord to realize this ain't it. And this is why I'm very concerned about the leadership at PlayStation Studios and just seriously have to contemplate what's going on there. Sony believed in this game so much, they gave it a pretty significant marketing push, albeit a very condensed one, but a marketing push nonetheless. They paid streamers to play it and try to prop it up. But
Dude, I wish I could have got paid to play
on top
it.
of that,
I wish I could have got one of those streaming contracts to sit there for 8 hours and play fucking Concord. That would have been great. They should have gotten me to do it, bro.
even have a dedicated Concord episode in the upcoming Amazon series. It's an anthology series that's basically a love letter to gaming. They paid to have an entire episode dedicated to Concord. That's how much.
What does that even mean, though? Like, they paid to have an episode dedicated to like, of what? Like, are they making like a Concord animated short or some shit like that?
Sony believed in this game. And this is why I'm saying, if this is what it takes to get them to wake up and start listening to the fans again and start listening to actual gamers and realize that this modern audience they're chasing, whatever it is they're chasing here, whatever it is that this studio is chasing, doesn't exist. Now the proof is right in front of us. This has to be a wake-up call for Sony. It will be, if it isn't already, a wake-up call for Sony. Because you better believe the reason why Sony, at least the executives, are shaking right now is because they're going to have to report these losses to their shareholders during their next earnings report. And it's going to be...
No, they won't. All they'll do is just, you know, put it as a write-off. I mean, they've already expensed it over the years, so they're not technically losing any money. The money's already been spent. But, yeah, they'll just round it up in, like, the total number. But, yeah, no. The money's already been spent. It's not like as soon as they pull this game off the shelf, they have to pay $250 million. They've already paid the $250 million over the past 8 years for development.
Bad. Now, I don't want to sit here and make it sound like Sony doesn't have anything else they're working on. We know that they're still working on stuff that people are looking forward to. We know Sucker Punch is working on Ghost of Tsushima 2. We know a lot of people are excited for Wolverine still, although there are some people who are actually not so excited anymore because of Insomniac. We know that there are new IPs in development from some well-respected studios like Sony Santa Monica, where they're going to make a new IP for the first time since they created God of War. So it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we even have like Death Stranding 2, which is going to be shown off soon. And these are things that are worth, I think, looking forward to, certainly. But for quite a few years now, there's been a certain portion of the PlayStation fan base that have basically been saying, Sony, you really need to just not go down this road with the live service approach. And I will admit, I was not one of those people because, well, I do like some live service games from time to time. I've spent a lot of time in certain live service games that I've enjoyed, so I'm not against them. But what I am against is chasing the trend. What I am against is going so...
Yeah, that Wolverine game is going to be junk, man. I mean, it's going to be more woke slop like Spider-Mid 2, but it's going to be another over-the-shoulder, slow-walking, you know, emotional story bullshit type game, I guarantee you. So, it's just... I don't know, man. Like, Sony's first-party games, for the most part, I don't give a fuck about. Like, Astro Bot's the first one in a very long time that I'm genuinely interested in. Super straight with the 5. The only good thing is there might be a porn of the hot Aish. Well, dude, compared to the fucking reveal trailer, they downgraded her visually. Like, look at her in the CGI trailer compared to her character model. Like, they made her ugly in the game. That's the only redeeming thing about Concord. I don't know, bro. That little bouncy alien girl is really hot, dude.
So against the grain, going so that against your own fan base and audience in some pathetic attempt to have the next big live service hit. It's kind of poetic, you know, to see how it's all worked out. We're knowing that Sony believed this much in Concord. They really believed this was going to be it. And to see it be quite possibly one of the biggest flops in gaming history. I have to wonder what this means for games like Fair Games. Similar situation. Haven Studio, a new studio founded by Jade Raymond. They revealed their game in 2023 at the last PlayStation showcase, Fair Games. Nobody really cared. Honestly, got about the same reception that Concord got. Didn't look much.
Oh, yeah, I remember that dog shit. The fucking bank robbery game, right?
Better either. We have yet to see raw gameplay of it. But I have to imagine they're probably shaking right now, too. Something tells me Fair Games is probably not going to fare any better than Concord did. Of course, we see the whole Bungie situation and how that's unfolding. Apparently, Marathon is not in good shape. So all in all, outside of Helldivers 2, this big live service push, this aggressive live service push that Sony planned and executed has been a colossal failure. I'm happy to see that Helldivers 2 found massive success, but the reality is Helldivers 2 is a game that was in development since like 2015, 2016, and it seemed to me that Sony didn't really have that much faith in it. I mean, I'm glad to see that Sony supported it and they saw it through, and they even funded the game and made sure that they could make it bigger and better and make it into the game it is today. So I do want to give Sony credit where it's due. But again, man, outside of that, seeing what we're seeing with Concord and what lies ahead with Fair Games and Bungie situation and Marathon, and I mean, there is still the Horizon live service game that's apparently in development, which who knows what's going on with that. I think Bend Studio is also making a live service game. I mean, how could you not be worried at this point? How could you not be worried? But all in all, I hope that Sony learned a valuable lesson from this. There's every chance that they didn't.
Yeah,
but the numbers don't lie. The financials won't lie. And regardless of how perplexed and confused...
I mean, this is more like evidence of why Jim Ryan was pushed out. He fumbled the fucking Activision Blizzard thing, not signing the deal. You know, he's the one that kickstarted this whole live service push. He's the one that bought all these like shitty fucking live service studios, greenlit all these type of games, and it just makes more and more sense why he was pushed out and Japan had to step back in. So
some of the developers might be, or some of the people internally at Sony who really believed in this game might be. the message, from what I can tell, has been delivered. And I just hope that they received it. So, felt like I had to make this video. I was thinking about making a dedicated video talking about Concord for a little while now, but with this new information that came out, finding out how many copies it sold roughly, again, 25,000, absolutely atrocious. It felt like the right time. So, luckily, we have Astrobot coming, which looks great, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with things like the PS5
Astrobot does look great.
Pro, and Death Stranding 2 is coming, and overall, it seems that we're going to quickly move past Concord, but there's no denying that Concord has lost Sony an incredible amount of money and will go down as very likely the biggest failure for the brand ever, which is just so shocking, honestly. Like, I don't know how this happens, but here we are.
Why is it? All right, hold on. How is this shocking, though? Look at the game. If it was going to happen with any game, of course it was going to be this one. So I don't really think it's shocking. Like, it kind of figures that this game, looking as bad as it does, is the game that tanked. So, I don't know. It makes sense that this is their biggest failure ever. I mean, fucking look at it. But the thing is like, just looking at the gameplay, like, mechanically, the game's fine. Graphically, the game's fine. It's just, dude, it's so boring. The, like, pacing is way too slow. They need to make the characters actually not fucking disgusting, and then maybe, just maybe, it will have a chance. But I don't know. Like, it's not a bad-looking game from, like, a gameplay and mechanics standpoint. It's the pacing and the characters and all the fucking woke shit. And just the fact that the hero shooter genre does not fucking want any more games. Like, that fad was over back in 2017. I guess juggernauts rose to the top, and then stuff like Marvel, with their massive brand behind them, has been able to find some success with Marvel Rivals, but there's just not a market for this shit anymore. 7 Minute Man with the 2. I know a way to recover the money. Drop the port. Oh, what, on Xbox? There you go, man. The Xbox community can come and help them because they love buying games.
Anyway, guys, that does it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon. Feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.
All right.
Okay, guys, take it.
Let's see.
Well, today we're getting some news on Concord.
Oops. Just curious. Yeah, just what I would expect. Time to get rid of all DEI in video games. Exactly.
That, I think...
And the studios, too. Not just in the games.
Is both surprising, but also not at the same time. And I'll explain what I mean. If we head over to the PlayStation blog, Sony posted an important update on Concord. And this was actually written up by Ryan Ellis, the game director at Firewalk Studio.
Yeah, like, all the cutscenes in this game apparently were made with, like, motion capture, facial scanning, CGI. So it's like, literally, they spent so much money on, like, the cinematics and the fucking facial models and everything like that for the CGI cutscenes and everything. So that's where the majority of the budget went, apparently, is like trying to make this a video game cinematic universe type thing. I sell it with the 5. That's I don't say anything about factions. I want all these live service gone. Well, the thing is with Faction, it makes sense because basically Naughty Dog said that we would have to become a live service studio in order to keep making content to support the live service. So it would have made sense to give Factions over to something like Firewalk instead of having them shit out Concord, but I guess too little too late.
And they say, Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch on Concord on PS5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us.
Not a very large community, bro.
However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch did not land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we've decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. They say here customers who purchased from the digital storefronts will also be refunded, and they then proceed to post how you can get refunded on Steam, Epic Game Store, or other retailers. Now, it's worth noting Sony has completely closed the comment section on their blog as well as over on Twitter when they posted this. And the reason why I said this is both surprising and not at the same time is because on one hand, it is quite shocking to see this game is getting shut down and pulled from storefronts in literally 2 weeks. By the time it is taken offline on September 6th, that would have been 2 full weeks that this game has been out, and then it's just gone. But it's also not surprising when you consider everything surrounding the game. It seems abundantly clear by this point, if it wasn't already for many people kind of watching this situation on the outside, that this game should have been canceled.
I would agree, but
the question that I think a lot of people are left with now is, what happens now? What's next? And I think
I just like MBG's somber tone, bro, because you know this hurts him deeply.
There's a reason for people to be asking this question, because if you look closely at the blog post here, they say explore options, including those that will better reach our players. Really have to wonder what that means, because
free to play.
When they say our players, well, why is the game being shut down in the first place? The game is being shut down because apparently it sold less than 25,000 copies and there are basically no players. People are already complaining that they can't match with other players in the game, which is crazy because, again, the game hasn't even been out for a full 2 weeks. So I'm not really sure what they mean by that. A lot of people are assuming they're going to go free to play, but I want to say this right now. Sony, drop it. Don't do anything with this game.
Why?
It's over. There's nothing
you absolutely... Why? Hold on. That makes no sense. Why wouldn't you just fucking release it? The money's already been spent. There's no fucking point. Why not just put it out there? Just making the game disappear is not going to help it. I don't know, bro. That's kind of a dumbass take. Like, the money's been spent. You might as well throw it out there in some capacity and just make back a little bit. Like, why leave any money on the table? Doesn't make any sense, bro. 7 Minute Man with the 2 meant Bloodborne or God of War PC port. I don't know if they're ever going to port Bloodborne over to PC. Same with Demon Souls. Because if they have those 2 games on PlayStation, it makes PlayStation the default From Software machine. So every single Souls fan is going to buy a PlayStation, which is a growing community of people. Like, if you want to play Bloodborne, you have to buy a PlayStation. If you want to play Demon Souls, you have to buy a PlayStation. And I think they're going to keep it that way. I don't know if they're ever going to port those over.
You can do.
But God of War, they probably could. Like, God of War 3 would make sense.
To salvage Concord. You gave it your best shot, which you shouldn't have even done in the first place, because everybody saw this coming from a mile away. Everybody knew this game was going to fail and fail hard. Now, did everybody know it was going to be one of the biggest failures in gaming history?
Yes.
No, I don't necessarily.
I did. I fucking did. I knew this shit was going to bomb.
Fault anybody for assuming that. And what's interesting is you have to imagine the reason why Sony went through...
I just didn't know how much it costs. Like, I didn't know how much they paid to develop it, but I knew this was going to fucking bomb. As soon as they showed it, it looked like fucking garbage.
with releasing this game is because they probably thought to themselves, you know what? It's going to be bad, but it's probably not going to be that bad. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Surely we'll get some sales. Surely we'll make at least a little bit of money. And who knows, maybe as time goes on, it'll find its own player base. But it turns out that no, it actually was that bad. In fact, it's so bad. Again, Sony is refunding anybody who bought this game. People who bought this game, people who were interested, the few people that were interested in genuinely playing this game will no longer be able to play this game. If they decide to go free to play, it's not going to help the game. It's just going to create a whole nother round and wave of backlash, and it's going to fail as a free to play title as well. So I feel like Sony has basically two options here. Option number one, make this the last time we ever hear about Concord. Although it is worth noting that, as I've mentioned previously, there is a dedicated episode in the upcoming Amazon series dedicated to video gaming called Secret Level. There's a whole episode of that anthology series dedicated specifically to Concord. So that's going to be pretty awkward. I'm not sure if Sony can do anything to kind of like pull that episode before it airs, but I kind of hope they're able to, because man, that's going to be really weird. So putting that aside, they have the option to just make this the last time we ever hear about Concord. 3 days from now, the same day Astrobot ironically releases, it shuts down and everybody just moves on.
Oh, great, dude. Some fucking Ubisoft retard, I'm sure. Or Star Wars shill flagged my fucking Star Wars video, so now it has limited ads. Lovely. Great, man, because that video was trending extremely well, so now it's going to get fucking cucked. Love it, bro.
And everybody basically pretends it never happened. Option two is...
Yeah, like it's been up for how many days now? Like 4 days? 5 days almost? Shit's fucking dumb. So I have to wait and see if the review
they can do
goes
something
through.
with this IP. And they make the mistake of trying again. And I really sincerely hope this isn't what they do, because...
Perfecting your swing is hard.
Nice shot, Dad.
Mother...
The message...
Yeah, there's no way there was actually something wrong with it if it was monetized for like 5 days straight.
Mentioned this in a video that I made talking about Concord a couple days ago, and what I said was I want Sony to receive a message. I hope they received a message. I think that the gamers, the community, we sent the message, but we still had that kind of question, like, was it received? I think this clearly tells us message received loud and clear. But a big part of that message, mind you, is not just that we don't want to play this game, we're not going to support this game. A big part of the message is...
Yeah, I can appeal it, but you have to fucking sit there and wait, and then as soon as it gets hit once, it fucks it in the algorithm. So even if they put it back, it's still fucked.
You shouldn't have went through with this game in the first place. You got to go back to the drawing board and figure it out, Sony. Go back to some of your classic IPs. If you don't want to do that, at least come up with something better than Concord. That's a whole half of the message that we sent. And I hope that Sony received the entire message and they understand the entire message from top to bottom. They understand that whatever they thought they saw in this game, they saw it in a bubble. They understand that they probably shouldn't have gone through with actually releasing this. It would have been better off to just cancel it. Most importantly, they understand going forward that they have to pay much closer attention to their actual fan base. And this is where I really want to kind of wrap this video up and put the most emphasis. Going forward, Sony needs to listen to their fan base. I said this in my previous video, and it needs to be said once again here. Replace Concord with Killzone. Replace Concord with Resistance. Replace Concord with SOCOM. Replace Concord with any one of those classic multiplayer PlayStation IPs. We wouldn't be reading this blog right now. You would not be reading a blog post about how...
Yeah, dude, he does sound like he's about to cry, honestly. It's pretty sad. This has affected him.
SOCOM game, the new Killzone game, the new Resistance game is being shut down 2 weeks after launch. Wouldn't exist. Not saying it would be a massive seller, massive colossal hit, next level live service success. I'm not saying that either, but it wouldn't be this. It would be right where it needs to be, in my opinion, which is probably somewhere right in the middle, where it appeals to the actual audience that is here on PlayStation asking for these games. You know, the people that are going out there supporting Sony and their consoles for many years. And I'm not necessarily saying these games would generate a whole new audience, but that's what's so ironic about something like Concord is, you know, for a fact, Concord was created to try to bring in this whole new audience and appeal to the modern audience and whatever they want to call it. And it failed spectacularly. So what I think Sony absolutely needs to do right now, go back to the drawing board, really think if you're going to continue down this live service road, which I suspect they will, and start tapping into your classic IPs, because I guarantee you, while you may not find the biggest success in the world, I'm not saying SOCOM's going to be...
Well, I think it's because it sold, like, probably, you know, the 20,000 copies. They're just like, yeah, it's $1 million. Let's just refund it and see if we can salvage this game, is my guess. Because the problem is, if you leave it up too long, then you basically kill off the chance that anyone could ever be interested in it again. So I guess they figure that we refund the $1 million, take an L on the production cost of all the physical copies, and then basically just see if we can rework it to where we can make more than $1 million back or not. Like, $1 million is nothing to Sony. So if they can make even slightly more than that by re-releasing it at a later date as free-to-play or whatever, then they'll probably do that. Or they'll just stick it in PS Plus or whatever it might be. But yeah, it's really an inconsequential sum of money that they're losing out on by delisting it and refunding people. And let's see, I saw there with the 5, just like Destruction and Foam Stars, Sony dudes actually let you know you got shit other than Xbox guys. Yeah, exactly. If this was an Xbox game, you'd have fucking retards going,
if people actually judge this game fairly, they would really like it. You know, Redfall's a great game when you don't have the media telling you how bad it is.
You know, that type of bullshit. So, yeah, dude, the fucking Willa Phil cocksuckers would just be stroking this shit off if it was on Xbox. They'd be saying it's the greatest fucking shit ever. Raging Board the 2 Concucked. Something along those lines.
The next fortnight or something like that. You won't have to deal with something like this. You won't have to deal with this level of humiliation and embarrassment and failure. I can guarantee that. But there's also the other elephant in the room, or multiple elephants in the room, I guess, and that is, what about upcoming live service games that have already been announced, such as Fair Games from Haven? Again, sorry to sound like a broken record, but I said previously that studio is probably shaking right now, because if you go watch that Fair Games trailer, not looking too good.
It looks like garbage.
Basically getting the same reception that Concord is. So you gotta wonder, what do you do here, Sony? Do you, A, just go through releasing the game?
My internet, my rules. Introducing
Depends on
my
how
home
far
from
along it
Verizon.
is in development, I guess.
B, cancel the game, or C, completely rework the game, which will take more time, money, and resource. I mean, I'm going to be honest here. If it's anything like Concord, which it's kind of looking like it might be, I'm thinking you just...
Yep, more woke characters, dude.
You just go with B and you cancel it. Just being real right now. But who knows? Maybe they can rework the game. Maybe they still have some time. But you think about something like Bungie's Marathon, same situation. Every single thing we've heard about Marathon has been bad. We've not heard a single good thing about Marathon. Really have to wonder, is it going to be worth it? Yes, it will have the Bungie name behind it. And maybe Sony just looks at it as, hey, that'll be enough, right? To just get some kind of audience. But I really hope Sony is aware of the reputational damage they are taking with every attempt like this, where it's just so clear to everybody looking in from the outside that, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get it together, Sony. So I hope that this is the beginning of Sony getting it together, specifically in the live service multiplayer space. Like I said in my last video,
dude, what was that shitty fucking shooter that came out for a while that was like popular, and it was like the AI generated like game show shooter? That's what this kind of looks like that they're trying to copy, but I don't know which one came first. Yeah, the finals, basically. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of, kind of.
I have plenty to look forward to. I'm excited for Astrobot. I'm
With
excited
like the cringe zoomer visuals and shit like that.
To see some Death Stranding 2. I'm excited for the PS5 Pro. I'm excited for games like Ghost of Tsushima, Santa Monica's new IP, whatever Blue Point's working on next. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's over, like some other people will. It's not. But I do need to definitely acknowledge that this is a colossal historical disaster.
That game got like
that
a
could have
3
been
out of
easily
10,
avoided,
right?
and
It was
simply
like
was not for whatever
It was
reason.
advertised like crazy, man.
So, hard lessons being learned by Sony. One last thing I want to say here, because I know I keep kind of extending this video, but I do need to mention this because people are going to ask, and they have been asking, what does this mean for Firewalk? Well, to keep it short and simple, it's not good. I don't necessarily know that I feel confident in saying they're going to get closed down. That is very extreme. They are a AAA developer. Sony paid probably a pretty penny for them. They have 150 devs the last time we checked, but they are located in Washington, so they're an expensive studio. I imagine at the very least there will be significant layoffs, but it is, I mean, we're looking at a failure on a level that we've never seen from PlayStation before. So we've seen studios get shut down for way less than what Concord just did. I want people to keep that in mind. And I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying it's the
look at Japan studios, man. They kept putting out banger after banger. They may have not sold incredibly well, but they sure as shit sold better than this shit.
Reality of it, man. It's the reality of it. So I don't think it's looking good for Firewalk. We'll have to kind of see what Sony ends up doing there. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care. I think it's...
Who else should we watch? Let's see if what is this?
No matter who you are, there are times it can be
I
tough
just
to
want
be
to see if
yourself
Crap
when you
did it,
have.
but I don't think he's covered it yet. MBG, I think, is like Muscle Bound Gamer or Muscle. It's something Muscle Gamer. I think Bound, maybe. I don't remember, but Muscle Gamer or some shit like that. Apparently, he used to be in the like bodybuilding.
You know, in a lot of ways, it feels like we're sort of living out the end of the Xbox era altogether lately. It just feels like we're kind of at that point. And I know people are going to say that it's being over dramatic or whatever. I don't really look at it that way. I look at this stuff as, you know, Microsoft are the ones that are kind of in control of what's going on, and they're the ones that are failing to sort of act the right way. You know, I mean, they claim that they're, you know, that the Xbox is the like best place to play and things like that. And as far as I could tell, that's not the case, you know, and I'm an Xbox fan, you know, and it just is not the case at all. They've honestly kind of did a bad job of communicating with fans. They've done a bad job of, you know, getting people excited about the future. They've done a bad job in general of a lot of things. But, you know, again, this is something that I think that we have to all kind of look at and hold Microsoft accountable for it. You know, this should be a good video. What's up, everybody? I'm CrapGaymer. This is CrapGaymer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like the video, share it out. I'd be very appreciative of that. It means a lot to me for sure. And, you know, again, if you want to subscribe, all the better, you know, all the better. I certainly do appreciate that. All the positivity, all that kind of stuff definitely means the world to me. So thank you guys so much
All that
for rocking out
positivity,
with me.
man.
So this is another big
Hell yeah.
issue. We know that games are skipping Xbox. We know there's a problem with stuff like Wukong. Whatever the case may be, it looks like things are not going good, as the Last Song Studio says the Xbox version is indefinitely delayed due to lack of communication, of all things. Can you believe that? That's crazy. The developer of this Souls-like, The Last Song, says it's being delayed on Xbox due to a lack of communication from Microsoft themselves. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. The buffoonery is just unbelievably bad. They posted a statement on its website Monday saying...
Yeah, basically Microsoft just would not respond to, you know, any of their inquiries about their, like, versions or whatever it was for over 2 months. Like, the official developer, like, support line or whatever didn't get back to them for over 2 fucking months, man.
that while the game was set for PS5 and PC on September 19th...
Apparently it's because Xbox is laying off all their, like, ID at Xbox people because, you know, that's like their indie / small developer outreach program, but apparently they're, like, basically canning most people there, so they're understaffed.
The Xbox version has been put on hold indefinitely. Tori Inotria has been a passion project of ours for years, and we cannot wait to see you bring the fight to the authors to put an infinite end to the twisted eternal play, according to the statement. But even in the beautifully detailed world, there is bound to be some darkness. Unfortunately, at this time, we have to announce an indefinite delay of the Xbox version. We understand how disappointing this news is to the Xbox community. Unfortunately, despite our best effort and hard work of our dedicated team, we've encountered challenges that have delayed our release on Xbox platform. We want to emphasize that this is not a decision we made lightly. While the statement didn't initially explain the reason for...
Yeah, it's just another Souls game, but still, it's not a good look. I mean, look what happened with Wukangs. You know, that was a game that's another Souls clone that popped the fuck off, and where's the only place you can't buy it? Xbox. So let's say this game comes out and it's another Souls clone and people really like it and it pops off. Even if it's not as successful, it's still a bad look. The only place you can't buy it is, once again, Xbox. It's just more of like a commonality that people are going to start picking up on.
For the delay in detail, some started to speculate that it may have been down to difficulties in porting the game to Xbox Series S, an issue that has affected some games in the past.
Seems feminine. Here, we can see what... Let's see. But what's funny is this game was originally announced at an Xbox event, which makes this even worse. Like, it was literally announced at an Xbox event, which is why it's kind of funny.
Add new sweet and smoky chipotle to your wing lineup.
No.
That chicken from Popeyes.
The Hound of War chases the scent, oblivious to the master's leash.
Nice.
True balance lies beyond the edge of a blade. Do not take free will for granted. I know I did.
Yeah, it's a Souls game, so... But apparently it has, like, some rhythm mechanic kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really have an interest in it, but... People love their Souls-likes.
Tales worn as medals avail naught for a hero's self-proclaim. And what of you, trespasser? Have you come to pry the stone from his boot? It matters not. Your fate is sealed by weapon drawn. This day, a bloodline
Comes out 2 days after Apollo's birthday. I will not be getting it for him. But yeah, you can see Xbox is advertised, and this came out 2 weeks ago. So they're obviously pissed off. Like, this hasn't been something that's been brewing.
Due to Xbox's typical insistence that Series X games are released on Series S too. However, the studio then added a further message on X, claiming that the issue was actually what it called lack of communication on Xbox's side. And I quote, "We believe that Xbox is blessed with a huge gaming community, and we would love to release our game on the platform as fast as possible, as we spent a lot of money and resources to make it happen."
Yeah, it's smart of them to come out and make a PR shitstorm about this, because then maybe they'll actually get a fucking response.
But this task is nearly impossible with Microsoft taking
yeah, the new Sony secret deals, man. That's the new fucking cope. That's the new excuse.
To reply to us when we have a game that's ready for submission. The studio also made it clear in its replies on X that users that the game's performance on Series S was not the issue. They said, and I quote, "It's not a performance issue. The game works better on it than expected on Series S and really good on Series X, but we cannot proceed through the submission process, and the reply from Microsoft can take up to 2 months." It also refuted claims that Sony had given the studio money to make a PlayStation exclusive. Just to clear things out, we're not paid by Sony, and we're not making a deal with PlayStation. We tried to get the game out on Xbox and other platforms as well, and we spent many resources to do so, but we failed due to lack of communication on their side. So, again, we have this situation where it looks like, you know, Sony is not having to pay for any kind of exclusivity or anything like that, but yet, rather, once again, we are living in a world where now Sony is really kind of getting these free games and things like that. You know, it's just really crazy to sort of see this kind of thing happen the way that it has happened. And I hope that Microsoft sees what's going on. Like, you can't sit there and run their business like this, because it's just not going to be able to be sustainable, whatever the case may be. So I hope that that's something that can be fixed before too long, because this is bad look for everybody. Like, this honestly is a terrible look for everybody, and it's terrible to see that Microsoft is you know, is in such a state that they're in, right? Like, we're looking at this and we're saying, hey, you know, Microsoft has done a pretty piss poor job of getting people the games that they promise, and not only are they really failing and struggling to get, you know, the stuff that they promise to the fans, but, you know, we're all sitting here looking at kind of what's
that's the thing, is like, Sony's in a position right now where literally all they have to fucking do is sit there and do nothing, and Microsoft continues to fucking, you know, just trip over their own fucking shoe. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Like, Microsoft has truly fumbled the fucking bag.
Going on with, like, these games and things like that that are skipping Xbox, and, you know, some of them, like Baldur's Gate 3 and Wukong, they're getting, like, Game of the Year type of looks, you know, and those are games that are, like, completely skipping Xbox. And I mean, yeah, eventually they might come, but, you know, the sad part is that these games should probably be there day one. The fact that they're not really kind of says a lot about the platform themselves and the future. That's why I say it does feel a lot like we're sort of living at the end of the Xbox as a platform in terms of a console. You know, I'm sure that they'll probably continue to make games and sell games and things like that. It just makes sense for them to do that. But I do feel like we'll probably see some instance where, you know, these games are going to cost Microsoft even more in sales and market and things like that. Like, that's going to definitely happen, and I can see people really kind of looking at this type of stuff and going, hey, you know what? Microsoft failed their consumers. You know, they promised exclusives. They said, hey, we're going to buy, you know, all this stuff, all these games, all these IP. We're going to do this to get exclusive content where Game Pass exists. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then at the end of the day, they didn't really do that. You know, and that's the part that annoys me as, like, an Xbox person. You know, they didn't really do a good job of kind of delivering on what's going on in the world of gaming, and that to me is an incredible shame. You know, I hate to see that. You know, I hate to see the way that Xbox has fallen, you know, especially lately. You know, they've really kind of fallen by the wayside, and people kind of don't take them seriously anymore. And, you know, again, every time there's a game that comes out that skips Xbox, we see, you know, that fans kind of blow Xbox off there. Oh, Xbox isn't worthy. Xbox isn't worthwhile. You know, Xbox isn't something that, you know.
It's like a death by 1,000 paper cuts thing, because it's like you piss off 5,000 people with this. You piss off 100,000 people with this. You piss off 1 million people with this. You piss off another 500,000 people. Like, it's just constant. So it's not even like one thing is going to make everybody fucking leave Xbox. It's just like these gradual things that are constantly happening with Xbox, where it's like, oh, well, we lied about this, we lied about this, we lied about this, this isn't coming here, this is going to PC first, this isn't launching on Xbox, this game gets delayed for Xbox, now we're gonna lie about some fucking third-party exclusivity deal to cover up for our fucking incompetence with the Series S. Well, now this game isn't coming, and this game got delayed, now this game's multi-platform, now, you know, it's like just constant shit, bro. Like, every other fucking day, it feels like just something comes out that just makes them look fucking completely incompetent. And every single time that happens, it just slowly pisses more and more and more people off to the point where they're just done. And every day, people are leaving the platform. It's not like some mass exodus on one specific piece of news, but over time, it's shaping up to be that way when you add everything up. I sided with the 5. If you look at Sony's track record, they released during Q1 and 2 of a year. If you recall, the final year of PS4, Xbox is screwed. GTA 6 owns the fall as well. Yeah, typically they do put their stuff out in the first half of the year. Unless it's something like Spider-Man or something like that that sells for the holidays, but yeah.
People care about, you know, it's super unfortunate to see that happen. You know, it's honestly just pretty horrible to see. And, you know, again, just as a fan, you know, I hate seeing this stuff. You know, it's just been really, really bad to kind of see how, you know, how all this kind of stuff could be. You know, I can't wait to see what the future holds. I can't wait to see what, you know, what Microsoft will do with with the platform. You know, are they going to bother with more consoles? Are they not going to go all in with the console? Like, I think that's the thing that we have to kind of look at and go, okay, you know.
Nah, they're going to do the handheld route, which is, you know, just basically going to kill the brand. DJ Neonsky of the 2, can we watch Captain Gold Joel? Let me see what it is. I guess. We'll see how... I don't know if we'll watch the full thing. I don't really want to watch 800 retrospectives on Joel. This is like the third one now.
This is really, really bad here. You know, I just think that where we're at is just not a very good space. You know, I would love to be here doing great videos about how awesome it is that, you know, some good Xbox news, and I try to do that when there is, but it's like they get hit with so many bad news stories day after day after day that it makes
my Xbox tax propaganda. Bro, the only Xbox tax that exists in the context of me is the tens of thousands of dollars I wasted between the beginning of the Xbox One generation and now on Xbox-related games, hardware, accessories, and just purchases in general. Because hindsight being 2020, I would have not spent a fucking dime on anything Microsoft put out post Titanfall 1 and Halo 5. I would have sold my Xbox after I was done with Halo 5 multiplayer, and I would have only bought shit for PlayStation and PC moving forward. And I would be in a much better position digital games library-wise, because the problem is I didn't just buy physical games on Xbox. I predominantly bought digital. So I have hundreds upon hundreds of games on Xbox that are stuck that I wasted money on.
It's almost impossible to do so. So, you know, I would love to do that. I would love to say, hey, you know what, Xbox is doing great. Xbox is doing, you know, some amazing things. But at the end of the day...
I need to go back to college and get a communications degree. Hell yeah. Well, I mean, I probably could qualify for one because I had to take 2 communications courses during my business school like curriculum. So there you go. I'm already familiar with it.
They're just not doing anything, you know.
It'd probably be pretty easy to like just apply my existing credits to that because it's a bullshit degree in the first place.
I just honest about this whole thing, you know. It's just really, really bad to see how this is kind of you know, being the way that they are. You know, they're just so complacent, and I hate that. You know, I hate the fact that they are being so complacent with all of this stuff. And, you know, I hope that they do something to kind of change things up, because they need new leadership in the worst way. Anyway, I will link this in the description. You guys can check this out. I've appreciated it. You guys are amazing. Please like the video, share it out, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. It means a lot to me.
Well, crap, it means a lot to me that you said that I was amazing, so thanks.
You guys are fantastic. So with that being said, I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, CrapGaymer 'em up. CrapGaymer.
No, we need CrapGaymer to take over as the head of Xbox, guys. That's our only hope.
And we'll catch you next time.
We need the CrapGaymer to take over Xbox. I think that's the only way to save the brand. At this point, at least. Alright, I'm going to go Hassan chair real quick, because I have to piss like a fucking horse. So, I'll let this play. I will be back in like a minute or two. But yeah, I gotta go pee.
Over 10 years ago, Naughty Dog's The Last of Us is widely regarded as being a masterpiece in not only the zombie genre, but also in the world of compelling video game stories. This narrative, as simple as it really is, has seemingly stood the test of time, to the point where even the live-action adaptation of the game for HBO was a massive success. While many will say that this story and game only works because of the relationship between Joel and his surrogate daughter Ellie, the truth is that the conclusion of this story is what truly made this game into an instant classic. That conclusion being Joel's decision to save Ellie, despite her life being a necessary sacrifice to develop a vaccine which could save countless lives by preventing infections. While this decision has been debated countless times since the release of the game, I figured I'd give all of you my input on said moral dilemma. My hope is that I'll be able to add something unique to this never-ending debate over this iconic scene. With that being said, I do want to preface this video with a very simple disclaimer. I'm going to be covering this dilemma as intended by the creators of the game, meaning that I won't be covering whether or not the Fireflies could make a vaccine or whether or not they did everything correctly insofar as medical procedures are concerned. The narrative explicitly implies to all of us that the Fireflies could have and would have made a functional vaccine. It wants us to accept that in-universe fact so that we may be captivated by the moral dilemma presented to us by the plot. People focusing on the plausibility of a vaccine being manufactured and successfully distributed are missing the point, and hence are failing to engage with the ethical conundrum presented by the writers. Yes, they did not realistically exhaust all medical procedures available to them. Yes, it is pretty far-fetched to believe they could even distribute the vaccine successfully. Yes, if the Fireflies could not make the vaccine or effectively distribute it, they would undeniably be in the wrong, because it would be very likely that they would be sacrificing one life for 0 gains. But that's not the point of the story. Focusing on these issues transforms the story from being a layered masterpiece to yet another prototypical dad saves daughter from equal people story. And to be frank, if that's the story I wanted to see, I just watched Taken. Remember, accepting certain fictions in a fictional story is key to the functionality of the story itself. Take, for example, the very concept of the cordyceps fungus jumping to humans from animals. It just isn't happening the way it was presented in the story. Not in real life, at least. But no one honestly cares about that. The reason people care about the logistical oversights and medical mistakes presented in the story is because they want a way to justify the actions taken by Joel. It's not deep or insightful, and it's certainly not because these non-medical experts are losing their suspension of disbelief. The truth is that it's nothing but mere sophistry, the sort of intellectually disingenuous nonsense that leads to rumors and myths spreading, like the outright lie that recordings exist in the first game that state the vaccine was not likely to succeed. Yes, that's right. There are no such tapes in the first game. Everything points to a narrative that wants us to believe that the Fireflies could make a functioning vaccine at the expense of
Oh god, here we go.
Ellie's life. As such, I will be accepting such a proposition for the sake of this video. Be that as it may, the central moral dilemma presented in The Last of Us is a simple trolley problem. Ellie is the cure, but to harness the cure, she must be sacrificed. If she is not sacrificed, countless lives will be needlessly lost. Joel is hence placed in the position of being next to the lever in this trolley problem.
There's still no guarantee it works.
Addition and subtraction is enough to determine that from a utilitarian or consequentialist perspective, Joel made the wrong choice. But this dilemma is a bit more nuanced than that. That said, before I delve into the nuance, I want to quickly opine on the more deontological arguments in favor of Joel's final decision. One could argue that harming any person is always wrong, regardless of the outcome. Disregarding Fireflies Joel killed, one could posit that Joel saving Ellie does not then mean that he doomed the lives of
Synth's bride. Who?
individuals. Individuals who would have lived had they had a vaccine produced from Ellie's brain tissue to prevent the cordyceps infection. Because at the end of the day, Joel isn't killing those people directly. The infected and the actual fungus is what is killing them. Now, the issue with this sort of thinking can be highlighted with a more straightforward trolley problem, like, say, a nuclear trolley problem. Instead of sacrificing Ellie to prevent the countless deaths of an unknown number of people, imagine sacrificing her to prevent the detonation of a 1 megaton nuclear device in modern-day Manhattan. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and put it
Wait, in Manhattan? Let it happen.
Figure on the screen. That way you can get an idea of how one-sided this trade really is. We save 1 life at the cost of 1,712,030 lives. Sure, we're not...
Can we send 2?
Technically responsible for the detonation of the nuke, but we could have reasonably prevented it. In fact, we had quite the tremendous power to stop this catastrophe, yet we did not accept the responsibility that said power came with. How does one justify sacrificing such a massive number of lives?
Dude, that's the thing. That's what I think is so... Whenever people use that example, oh, would you prevent Los Angeles from being hit with an asteroid? No. I'd ask that 2 come just to finish the job.
Of one person. One person would literally account for 0.0005841% of that tally. If you counted to the figure on screen, non-stop without rest, it would take you 19.82 days to reach that.
Who cares, bro? Yeah, no thanks.
Figure. All of those bodies laid side by side from head to toe in a neat straight line, with the assumption that all bodies are 5'7", would stretch out to the length of 2,910 kilometers, or 1,808 miles. That is roughly 22.83% of the Earth's diameter. As bioethicist Arthur Kaplan stated during an interview with Vox, the numbers do make a moral difference. And you know what? To be frank, I don't care what your views are, because you just cannot practically justify such a decision. And this is ultimately how rigid moral systems collapse. I do admit, however, that this analogy is not perfect, because with the detonation of a nuclear device, we know people will die at no fault of their own. In the case of Ellie and Joel, many of those lives may be lost due to the incompetence of survivors, meaning that some probably would have died regardless of a vaccine. But quite an untold tally would die precisely because of their lack of immunity, and these deaths would span several generations. All things being considered, Joel is still unquestionably wrong. But like I said earlier, there is some important context to consider here. But before we look at that context, let's dig a little deeper and analyze more of Joel's moral failings. One could argue that the Fireflies did not give Ellie an active choice, which is an incredibly valid point. Even though Marlene claimed to know that Ellie would want to sacrifice herself, she still didn't leave any room for her to choose otherwise. But here's the thing, Joel did the exact same thing, despite knowing that Ellie was likely the type of person who wanted her life to have mattered in the grand scheme of things.
Be done with this whole damn thing. Why are you
Yeah, but she's a child and can't consent, retard.
doing this? Because you let us.
Hey, you made it!
To new friends.
Congratulations, dumbass. You just fell into Neil's alternative motive, also of making Joel the villain, is that children can consent.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
This desire to have her immunity matter is confirmed to all of us at the end of the first game.
She says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
Oh, you don't understand.
And it is outright stated in the sequel.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital.
Yeah, no, the sequel doesn't count because that's written by a fucking hack. Anything that changes based on the sequel and not in the first game is irrelevant because the sequel is a fucking shitty fan fiction.
My life would fucking matter. But you took that from me.
Both Joel and Marlene are guilty of robbing Ellie of her agency. She didn't get to choose her entry into life, so it stands to say that she should have a say in how she exits this world. And in Ellie's case, her would-be self-termination isn't even selfish. It is altruistic by definition. But that freedom of choice...
Wait. She didn't choose to come into the world, therefore she gets to choose how she exits? So basically you're advocating for people committing suicide as children? Children should be allowed to commit suicide because they didn't choose to come into the world? I mean, this is fucking retarded, man.
Wasn't a right imparted to her by Joel or Marlene. Joel loved Ellie like a daughter, but he could not suffer the pain of losing yet another child. This pain terrified him so much.
I mean, this is literally the argument of why kids should be allowed to troon out, dude. Like, oh, well, they didn't choose to be born as a boy, so therefore they should be able to change their gender to a girl. Like, it's the same fucking argument. Oh, she didn't choose to be born, so therefore she should choose if she wants to fucking kill herself.
Denied the very person he loved for the sake of his own desires. This is, of course, assuming that a 14-year-old ought to have the right to consent to self-termination. And you know what? That is a can of worms I don't feel like opening up here. That being said, not only did Joel rob Ellie of her agency,
he doesn't want to open up the can of worms of whether or not a child can consent to self-termination. Well, dude, that's the entire fucking can of worms you're describing in this video, you dumbass.
Her about it.
Swear to me.
She's a child. It doesn't change the fact that you don't want to talk about it.
Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
After you took me out of the Firefly hospital, you said there were dozens of people like me.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
I've never met another immune person before.
Yeah, well, they're all dead.
That aside, I now want to cover the context that many people seem to miss when discussing the story. When the Fireflies retrieved Joel and Ellie, they did not allow them to sit down and talk. There was no agency granted to Ellie and no opportunity given to Joel to have closure or to at least let him make his case to his surrogate daughter. The decision was also forced on him just as it was forced on Ellie. Both father and daughter had their agency revoked by the Fireflies. Even if they planned to do the surgery regardless of Ellie's decision, the ethical choice would have been to at least give them some damn closure. To at least make the process as humane as fucking possible. There was no need to rush the surgery. There was no need for them to handle things the way they did. Perhaps Marlene didn't know that Joel and Ellie had developed a bond. But you know what, to be frank, that shit should have been a given. These two people trekked across the damn continental United States together for months. There was obviously going to be a bond that developed. Oh wait, that's right. Marlene actually did realize this, and she, along with...
I saw there with the two with September, where Starfield Shattered Space. Well, I'm guessing they delayed that too, because, you know, your backlog's just so large that, you know, they figured it's the same scenarios avowed, that you would just be grateful that they released less games for you to play.
Abby's father were totally okay with robbing Joel and Ellie of their agency.
I'm gonna go tell Joel. Why? He traveled across the country with her. He has a right to know. Good luck with your surgery.
The real nuance with Joel's failure in this moral dilemma is that Joel was always bound to fail this ethical test, because such a test was rigged to begin with. Had Joel been granted the chance to speak with Ellie, had they both had the time to deliberate the choice in front of them, then it's certainly possible that Joel could have made peace with Ellie's desires, which also means countless Fireflies would not have died at the hands of Joel, including Abby's father and Marlene. Absent that opportunity, Marlene left Joel with an impossible and frankly irrational expectation. No loving parent, whether biological or adoptive, would allow for their child to be killed, if they were in Joel's shoes. To expect someone like Joel to just sit there and allow their daughter to be sacrificed for the greater good is the real ethical failure in this story. You just cannot blame Joel for making the decision he made, just as you cannot blame a drowning man for potentially dragging someone down with them in their attempt to avoid death. While Joel may have been technically wrong, he truly cannot be blamed for it. Shit, I think he's wrong, and I know I'd make the exact same decision as Joel if I were in his shoes. That's how rigged this moral dilemma really is. That being said, I'm not certain as to how Joel would have reacted to Ellie volunteering to be sacrificed. He very well may have made the same exact decision, especially considering that he shows no regret.
Yeah, but there's still no guarantee that it would have worked. So that's the thing.
Saving Ellie's life in The Last of Us Part 2.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Oh, what is it you're holding? A cookie? You were chosen to become some...
But what if Ellie rejected the opportunity to sacrifice herself? Would that justify the Fireflies taking the cure from her body by force? Would it justify Joel dropping an entire hospital of militia men and women? In the vast majority of situations, I would side with valuing the bodily autonomy of individuals. I would want to exhaust all options before undergoing such an undesirable operation.
What the fuck is this shit?
The right for a person to have domain over their own body is a truly important right, to not only establish but also to protect. But in this scenario, I can't help but look at the math and empathize with the Fireflies. One life versus potential thousands or even millions, given the fictional presupposition that this fictional vaccine is guaranteed to work. Ladies and gents, we're talking about generations of people who won't have to die because of the existence of a vaccine born from the blood sacrifice of one Messiah. Plainly stated, the numbers do fucking matter. Yes, that's right. The Fireflies were technically right, but they handled it in the most ethically reckless and emotionally apathetic and inhumane manner possible. And yes, Joel was wrong. And in this hypothetical, where Ellie denies consent, he'd still be wrong. But it is frankly imbecile beyond belief to blame him. I know many of you don't want to hear that Joel is wrong, and conversely, I know some of you don't want to hear that he cannot be blamed for his own actions. But that is the beauty of this game and its story. You grow to love Ellie just as Joel loves her. This, of course, alters your moral compass, just as demonstrated in Trolley Problems, where subjects
I never really liked Ellie that much.
Have to choose between sacrificing a loved one or killing strangers for said loved one. The dynamic
I just like Joel. I never really grew attached to Ellie at all. I just always liked Joel because he was a cool character. That's why I didn't enjoy Last of Us Part 2 really at all, because I didn't really give a fuck about playing as Ellie.
Emotional skin in the game. And again, I want to reiterate that even though I know Joel is wrong, I know that I too would make the same decision had I been in his exact shoes. It's just human fucking nature. It would take a tremendously ethical and strong-willed person to sacrifice someone they love for the sake of all mankind. Most people just aren't that good or strong, and it would be silly to expect them to be that way. Anyways, that concludes this gold standard video. If you enjoy this sort of content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification icon so that you may be notified when I publish a new video. Don't forget to leave me your thoughts in the comment section as well. And please consider becoming a channel member. It's pretty damn cheap and it helps me to further entertain you. With that said, I'm Captain Gold and I'll see you in my next video.
Ellie is hot though? No, she's not, dude. She looks like a fucking dyke lesbian in the second game. Absolutely not. Are we gonna watch RTU? We can see what it is that he uploaded, I guess. Best Buy shit story, a clip. Okay. So he didn't actually upload. He just made a fucking shitty stream clip. Why didn't they zoom in?
I'm gonna get my pants. Let's go.
Hold on.
Dude, why is he like maybe 5% of the fucking screen and this is him telling a story? Like, shouldn't the person editing the clip like zoom in?
Story. I know you must.
And also, why is his camera smaller than fucking Jordan and 8-Bit Eric, bro? I don't. This stream layout's really bad. I've never liked the way he's had this.
It's like stories.
Like, if you're gonna have a camera, like, just put yourself in this spot right here and then drag the video down to there. Like, I don't know, man. It's a terrible layout for face cam.
Want to get my walk in today real quick? And I didn't take my morning. I was up at.
No, he hired another one to work on clips. He got another clip editor.
But I didn't. I don't want to. Didn't have to take my morning shit until 1.
Morning shit.
So had to also go into Best Buy to return something. So I took my shit there. And I'm in.
Griffin is really jealous of Ellie because she has more armpit hair than him. Well, I shave my pits, bro, so I have none.
In the bathroom, and I'm in there. I clean. I'm a weirdo. I clean the seat. I don't want to sit where someone else is. So, see this dude walking in. All right, whatever. He goes. I thought he was gonna take a piss, so I clean the seat. I go on my thing. He goes in the other stall. He had like a minute-long diarrhea explosion coming out of his. It didn't stop for a whole minute. It just kept going. And I'm like, oh, God, oh no, I smell it. Oh no, I smell it. Oh no, I smell it. It was one of the most violent shits that I ever heard. I was just like, what the, how is that humanly? He must have been dehydrated after that. And it just was like, you would think, all right, I mean, we've all had diarrhea here before, you know, and you have like the explosion and you hit like, I don't know how the dude didn't pass out after that. It was the worst. I almost.
Why is this a clip, dude? This isn't even that great.
Threw up while I was on the stall. It was so bad. I was like, dude, no joke. There's nothing to joke about. No, the shit was real. And it was moist coming out of his explosive. And I smelled this man's. Unfortunately, it's not me being like metaphorical. Like, unfortunately, I literally smelled his. And I'll never forget the smell.
Yeah, he's just high ranting, basically.
For all the wrong reasons.
Bottom side.
Note to the editor, if the clip doesn't involve whatever is on the screen, just zoom in on Rich. Yeah, agree. A simple apology and returning to gaming tech news would make all this go away. He needs to either not censor his cursing or really dial it back. It's really annoying hearing every other word get blanked out. Why does this video exist? Exactly. What possessed this man to think this was worthy? Yeah, exactly. Like, that was pointless. That was absolute slop, bro. Like, that's not even a good story. Like, oh yeah, I went to the bathroom, dude, and I heard explosive poo-poo coming out of a guy's asshole, and then I smelt his ass because he was pooping, and blah, 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 blah. Like, oh wow, dude. Crazy. Like, it's so fucking dumb. It's censored because he doesn't want to get demonetized. That's why. He thinks it's going to get him demonetized because it's such a short video and he says shit so many times. Basically. I don't know, man. That was a horrible story. Oh yeah, dude. Shit. I smelt his ass, dude. I smelt his whole ass. Like, okay. Like, ooh. Congrazzles, dude. You smelt his asshole. Yeah, that was like such a pointless clip, bro. That was so pointless. I don't know. It's really sad, bro. He like literally had just the golden ticket to fucking content.
Skip it up and
just slop news coverage. Like, dude, this video could not have taken long to make. 6 minutes. Is the PS5 Pro going to ruin the PlayStation 5? 6 minutes. Sony is striking down PS5 Pro leak video. Like, look at this shit, bro.
This article makes no sense.
He doesn't need this crap. Get rid of this shit.
They don't understand the differences.
Just put some gameplay in the background, read the fucking article, and upload the video.
Between the Series S and the PS4 Pro, and with the PS5 Pro,
like, he wonders why his views are going down on stuff like this, because people who watch news videos don't want to see, you know, a guy talking to a fucking candle and belching in their ear.
Stand for developers. They don't get it.
Skip it up and that up.
So I like talking about articles where I feel that
yeah, see, like, just have the intro where it goes,
skip it up and
fucking loser faggot,
and then just start talking about the topic, man. You don't need the fucking, oh yeah, I'm talking to a candle and, you know, burping.
Misses the point. Now,
like, dude, if I was a new viewer and I saw that shit, I'd click on that video and click off immediately.
They're going to be talking here about the Series X and Series S, and how the Series S has been a problem for developers from the start of the 9th generation due to its GPU limitations and memory bandwidth limitations too. Some developers have talked about as well. I've gone over countless times of developers saying that the Series S is a bomb.
Imagine if you get shit-faced on stream talking about AP Calculus Girl all the time. That's what RTU's content be. Yeah, pretty much, dude. He just goes on fucking high rants about stupid shit.
Bottleneck. Baldur's Gate 3 was the straw that broke the camel's...
I don't know, bro. It's like substance abuse and content creation is not a good idea. Like, Rich has become reliant on getting high just to do, like, basic fucking content. You know, it's like Leafy, how he got basically addicted to Adderall because he thought he needed to take Adderall in order to make entertaining content. So, bro, it's like the exact same thing. You know, Rich has to be high in order to make YouTube content now, aka his streams, which results in him making subpar content. Because apparently he uses it to self-medicate his anxiety or whatever, so he's become reliant on pot in order to function.
Back where, remember, Microsoft was saying that every single game that comes out for the Series X and S has to have feature parity. They broke that with the split screen. The Series X version of Baldur's Gate 3 has split screen. They could not get it to run properly on the Series S, so it does not have split screen. So it's funny how money talks sometimes, huh? Really popular game. Yeah, the parity thing, out the window. Well, this article from Power Up Gaming, it was written by Aiden Williams, and I've used them before.
Griffin, I thought you are a clone of Leafy. Thanks, man. But yeah, I don't use Adderall or any of that shit, bro. The only drug I've ever consumed is caffeine, a little bit of nicotine, and I guess alcohol, but I haven't drank in forever, so yeah, I'm pretty much as pure as the mountain breeze.
As a source, and this is not a shot at them, but the article is called PS5 Pro, Why Sony Aren't Learning from Their Victories. And they're missing the point. As much as I'm not personally excited about the PS5 Pro, so this is me not
Griffin's real drugs are money and Aerith, that and Concord physical copies, dude.
Fighting for Sony, he's comparing the PS5 Pro to the Series S. No, that is incorrect, but I'll read to you some of the article. I'll have a link to it below in the description, and then I'll discuss with you why his take is wrong. Microsoft, however, had the Series S, which also went with no disk drive approach, but expanded it, releasing it with lesser specs and lesser graphical capabilities than the Series X. He's comparing it to how Sony released the PS5 digital edition and the PS5 with the disk drive, but they both had the same hardware specs, so they were just as capable, where Microsoft went with lesser specs,
lesser price, no disk drive. However, Microsoft did have the benefit of a cheaper price point because the Series S is $299. The PS5 digital edition, excuse me, is $399, $100 more. So that was what was appealing about the Series S. But then he also goes now into Baldur's Gate 3, like I mentioned before, its limitations. And he's saying that now with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's essentially going to make the PS5 the Series S. You're absolutely wrong about this, though, because it's a different ideology or a different method with the hardware approach. Aiden, here is what the Achilles heel is, and this is why I'm saying that your take is dumb. When Microsoft came out with the 9th gen consoles, it wasn't that the Series X isn't a pro version of that. Okay, it's not that the Series S is the de facto standard.
But yeah, you get the point, bro. Like, he could just make this fucking slop-ass content. And that's it. Like, it's just, this is easy. I don't know, like, look, 30,000 views on this shit, bro. That's it. All you have to do is just talk for like 5 minutes about some bullshit topic, upload the video, make some money. Done. But no, I don't get it. It's just like so lazy. And I'm not a lazy person. Just in certain ways, I guess. But yeah, I like to feel like I'm not like a super lazy human being. I would say I'm a pretty motivated person overall. But still, man, even if you are lazy as fuck, that is not a lot of work. Turn on a camera, read a news article, give 3 minutes of your thoughts afterwards. Done. Like, bro, and you do that 4 times a day, let's say, and that's your job. You're maybe spending an hour on each video, and that's being generous. That's a 4-hour work day. Dude, it's just, that's insane to me that that's like not sustainable. Like, bro, Rich really had the golden ticket. Like, let's say he uploads 4 30,000 view videos a day. You know, that's 120,000 views. He gets $2 per 1,000 views. That's $240. And that's not even taking into account all the money he makes from like his videos that, you know, gain views over time. So, bro, he could be making like $300-400 a day just in ad revenue, uploading normally, and then he could stream at night, make more money, and then just bank it. And then when he's ready to retire, which I would assume he will one day, you know, it's just odd. I don't get it. I really don't. DJ Neonscape with the 2. If I was rich, I would do 3 tech stories in 1 video. I don't know if it would work, though. Because I think Rich's strength was making short-form content. Like, you know, just keep it straight to the point. Make the video, talk about the article, and then give your opinion at the end. Done. Next video, next video, next. I think that, like, fit his style the best, personally. Because I always liked watching Rich's videos when they were like 5 minutes long and you could just put it on real quick and have something to like listen to. If you were waiting for something to happen or, you know, taking a dump or hopping in the shower or whatever it might be or driving somewhere real quick. It was like good background noise, basically. It's like the Quartering where he just rambles on for 13 minutes about a topic. Like, it's not anything insightful or super informative or anything like that, but it's like good background noise if you're interested in the topic. So
I can't afford this shit!
yeah, almost all Chinese nationals in the United States are Chinese spies. And the government knows it, too. They just allow it to happen. but yeah. Bro from China, R.I.P. The stoned are very lazy. Yeah, that's why they want to make it legal, so everybody's a fucking retard, just bumbling around. Yeah, man. I don't need a house. I don't need to make more money. I just need to smoke as a fat dude, bro. Well, I don't know. That's retarded. No, I'm not a Chinese spy, guys. Siler is at risk if he ever worked a government job. He would be taken advantage of by the Chinese. They would put a plant. Am I going to play Atelier Yumiya? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Oh, wait. I know what that is. The anime game. I mean, I haven't seen what this one is, but... Yeah, I have the one with the big titty, big thigh chick on PS4. Because they're valuable, so I bought a bunch of them. This game? I haven't seen it. Let's see.
困っている人がいたら手を差し伸べられる人になりなさいと母は言った。自分自身で何が正しいかを判断できるようになりなさい。
Game of the year.
あの時
Hell yeah, dude.
のあの行動は正しかったのか。何度も何度も
Milk jugs.
記憶をたどる。
I really don't understand what the appeal of women with short hair is to the Asians. Like, I've never understood that shit. It does not look good.
僕はユーステラ騎士団所属ビクトル・フォン・デューラー君の監視を担当する
ちょっとお兄ちゃん初めましての子に高すぎじゃない同じく騎士団所属アイラ・フォン・デューラ
マナは生命が刻んできた記憶が大地へと帰ることで生成される力だあまりに濃度が高すぎると人体に対し悪影響を及ぼす
マナを操れば
I have no idea what type of bro, like, just looking at this game, I have no idea what the fuck this even is. Like, they haven't really shown combat, they showed a little bit of movement, like, no clue what this even is, like, gameplay-wise. Not off too strong. Not off too strong.
調査団はお前の進んだ道をたどるようにして任務を進めることになる。
この力で役に立てるなら
Fucking motorcycle.
私にしかできないことをしたい。
戦を知らぬ現代の軍人か。平穏を享受していればいいね。
我が領地を襲い、マナ災害を引き起こしたのは貴様だな。
What the fuck? Oh my god, bro. Jesus. What the fuck? Like, I guess she went to the fucking plastic surgeon and he asked, what size would you like? And she just said, yes.
無事かしら錬金術師さんたちそれにしてもなんだかややこしい状況になってるみたいねいやもう何かおかしいなんだよしたくて
お前を恨めば何かが解決するのか甘い考えはとっとと捨てた方が身のためだぜあなたが一体どこまでできるのか私はそこにも興味が
錬金術には触れない理解しない大災害を繰り返さない
錬金術一体何をしたのね
えユミアあなたはどうして
私は知りたいんです本当のこと母は禁忌を破った悪人だったのか
ユミアのこと
Better than oh yeah, dude, definitely. So much better than Rebirth, dude. So y'all picking that up? Wakana Kuramochi. Ooh, you can get an Athlete of Memories. Hell yeah, dude. That is definitely rounded. I silered the 5. Oh my fucking god, it's a race. What is? This is literally every match of Rivalry and Concord right now because this is the fastest way to earn XP for the Platinum.
Do they want us to win? Let's not disappoint them.
Falls down. Good night.
That's fucking weak, bro. They're just all killing themselves. Based. They're gonna beat Dreamcast guy to that platinum trophy, dude. Uh-oh. Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'm tired, man. I'm going to head to bed. So, I guess we'll finish up Space Marine, and then, yeah, I don't think it's... Let me just make sure. Space Marine 2 Early Access. I don't think it's out at midnight. So, Game Rant, I guess that's good enough. So, hold on. Oh, that's PC. Where's console? So this is the times. So it, oh yeah, it goes live at 9 a.m. So yeah, definitely not tomorrow night. That fucking blows. Why are they not doing a midnight release, bro? That sucks. They're doing like a global launch, which is fucking AIDS. So, anyway. Hopefully, you know, it turns out to be good. Because I think reviews go live tomorrow at the very least. So we'll have that to watch. But anyway, guys, have a great Wednesday, everybody. And I will talk to all of y'all later. Peace out, guys.